We're going to move on now to looking at using index and match a little bit differently than what we had done before. Before we were using it to mimic a VLOOKUP, and we were looking up using a single value out of a large range, right? So now what we want to do is what we'd like to be able to do is take this guy's first name, Noah, his last name, Wilson, and look up Noah Wilson and get the GPA for this person, right? Notice we have a Noah Smith, a Noah Jones, a Noah Wilson, right? So looking up only with the first name's not going to work, so we want to do it with both. And we don't want to create a new column where we combine them and all that stuff, right? So we want to do it dynamically. So we're going to start by using a match. The match is going to find the row number that we're interested in, and then the index is going to give us, we're going to use that row number from the match, nested inside of an index. The index is going to give us back the column number and the GPA. All right. So I'm going to come up here in F4 and do equal match. The lookup value, this time what we're going to do is we're going to say F2. But remember, I just showed you there are 3 different Noahs, so that's not good enough. I also want to combine it with the last name, so the concatenation shortcut is just the ampersand, Shift 7, with Wilson. So that'll show me, right, that's the lookup value. The lookup array now, I have to look it up in 2 different columns. Remember, the match is looking at a range of cells here, so the first one will be the first names. And I'm going to combine that with the ampersand again of the last names. And then I want an exact match, right? So 0. Now, before I hit enter, because I'm dealing with arrays now, that means multiple columns at the same time, or multiple cells that I'm joining together in the lookup value. Then in the legacy versions of Excel, you have to hit Control Shift Enter. So hold down the Control key, hold down the Shift key, and hit Enter. And when you go look at it up in the formula bar, up here, right, we see that there are curly braces around it. That means it's an array formula. So because I was dealing with arrays, I have to do that in legacy Excel to make it happen. So if you have Excel 2016, for example, you would have to hit Control Shift Enter to get that match to work. Now, interestingly, if in Excel 365, which is what I'm running right now and what should be on your tablets or laptops that they give you, if I go back in here and I hit Enter, it still comes up with 8, but notice up here now it gets rid of the curly braces, indicating that it's an array formula. So in Office 365, and specifically Excel 365, it can handle the array formulas without having to do the Control Shift Enter. Some people call those CSE commands, Control Shift Enter, right? So because that's historically how you have had to deal with arrays. Now in Office 365, Excel 365, we don't have to do that. That's really nice. So this is saying row 8. So let's count. Notice up here I can see, when I do this, I can see how many up in the name bar. 8R by 1C, so that's 8 rows by 1 column, so it is in row 8. I can also see down here below where it says count equals 8, so I'm on the 8th row. So it looks like it's working. All right. So then, once I have that, what I'd like to be able to do is to say index, and the index, I'm going to take it out of all of this whole big range, right? And then I'm going to match, do the same thing, but I know it's row 8, so I'm going to give it row 8, and then I'm going to give it column 3. And again, here we would probably hit Control Shift Enter on a historical or legacy Excel, and we see the curly braces up above. But because I'm in Excel 365, I can just hit enter and we say 2.4, which it looks like it's working correctly, right? So I did the match first, then I used the value of that match, right, inside the index. So if I want to do this all at once, right, which is really what I want to do, I would do index, and I would say the entire array here. And my row number is going to be a match, and again I'm matching Noah and Wilson from all of the first names and all of the last names with an exact, and then the column number is 3. And again, if I was doing this in a legacy, I'd hit Control Shift Enter, and when I did that, you see up above in the formula bar the curly braces right there. But if I come back down and just hit enter, Excel 365 is smart enough to do that for me. So one of the nice things about using Excel 365 is array formulas are much easier to do. I don't have to remember to hit Control Shift Enter. So we'll stop there for now.